I think I'm a little bit late to the rainbow and unicorn coloured everything trend. But regardless, minus the funfetti and pastel frosting, these cupcakes are delicious, especially the strawberry cheesecake filling. So let's get started. Line a muffin tin with 12 paper liners and preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. These cupcakes use the creaming method, so we're going to prep the dry and wet ingredients first. So, combine 95 grams of self-raising flour with 80 grams of plain flour and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Give it a quick whisk and set it aside. Then mix 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract with 125 ml of milk. I like to use vanilla bean paste and I always put a little bit extra. Next up, cream 115 grams of softened, unsalted butter with 200 grams of white granulated sugar. Once it's a little lighter in colour and well creamed, we're going to be beating in 2 eggs. Start with 1. Then beat in the second egg. Whisk until very pale in colour and the batter looks a little bit like a mousse texture. Now you're going to add the dry and wet ingredients in parts. So, start by adding 1/3 of the dry ingredients and beat just until combined. Then add half of the wet ingredients and mix just until combined. Now mix in half of the remaining dry ingredients, followed by the remaining wet ingredients, and again, only beat until just combined. Finally, add the last of the dry ingredients, along with 50 grams of confetti sprinkles. This is optional, but obviously a little bit of fun. Divide the batter evenly between the cupcake papers. I use an old-fashioned ice cream scoop, which makes filling the papers easy and mess-free. Bake in the preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes. A toothpick inserted into the middle cupcake should come out clean. Once they're baked, leave them to cool in the baking tin for about 10 minutes. Then, remove them from the tin and leave them to cool completely on a wire rack. Next up, the most delicious strawberry cheesecake filling. It makes a little bit extra, but you'll end up eating some of it in the process, so it all works out. Blitz together 40 grams of fresh strawberries, 1 tablespoon of icing sugar and a quarter teaspoon of vanilla. It doesn't have to be too well pureed at this stage. Now, add 100 grams of full-fat cream cheese and then blitz until smooth. Transfer the mixture into a bowl and add 2 tablespoons of double cream. Start whisking slowly just until combined. This is just to avoid splashing. Then whisk on high speed until the filling becomes thick enough to hold soft peaks. Chill in the fridge while you get the cupcakes ready for filling. Use an apple corer to remove the centers of the cupcakes. Only go to about 3/4 of the way down with the apple corer, and the cake should pop right out. You won't be needing the centers, so either save them for cake pops or, well, eat them. Once that's done, spoon the cheesecake filling into a piping bag. Snip the end off and then fill the cupcakes with the filling. If you don't have any piping bags, you can use a freezer bag or just spoon it in with a teaspoon. Again, you may need to do some taste testing just to make sure that that filling is good enough. And now, what we've all been waiting for, possibly, the silky soft pastel coloured unicorn poop frosting. Whisk 3 room temperature egg whites until frothy. Now you're going to slowly spoon in 150 grams of caster sugar. It's just like making meringue, so add the sugar a small bit at a time. Once the sugar has been fully whisked in and the meringue is fluffy and the peaks are glossy and they hold their shape, whisk in 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Now to colour the meringue frosting. This part is optional, but of course essential to the whole unicorn thing. Divide the meringue into separate bowls. I divided mine into 5 bowls for 5 colours. Now use a gel or paste colouring to colour each one. I used Sugar Flair's pastel range of gel colouring in yellow, green, pink, blue and purple. Do not use a liquid colouring because that could make a soup out of your meringue. You do lose a bit of volume when you mix the colours in, so if you were keeping the frosting all white, which is actually really lovely, you'd get much bigger swirls on top of each cupcake. Right, once all the colours are mixed, place a sheet of cling film on the counter. Now spoon a line of each coloured meringue frosting next to each other. It doesn't need to be too neat. Fold up any extra cling film on the ends and then bring the one side over so that the frosting is folded over onto itself. Close over and gently shape into a thick roll. Twist the ends closed and now it's ready to go into piping bag. Trim away the one end of cling film and put that end into the piping bag first. Now all you have to do is pipe the meringue frosting onto each cupcake. I used a large plain tip for that full poop effect, but if your sense of humour is cleaner than mine, you could use a large star or French tip. For a magical final touch, decorate with sprinkles and edible glitter. I think white sprinkles look best against the colours. And that's it. So, go put the kettle on, or maybe pop out for a takeaway unicorn latte, and enjoy one of these cupcakes. They're quite cute and whimsical, but even better, they taste amazing.